Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about the latest update on CBDCs. I'll start with walking you through what's going on globally, then we'll focus on the United States in detail. If you watched my latest video, I'm sure that you have questions about the new government-operated digital payment system here in the United States. If you're interested in this type of content, do let me know. You can do so by liking the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure that you click the bell notification to stay up to date on the latest content. As I was reading your comments to my recent videos on CBDCs, there's one question that many of you are asking. Will these changes affect credit unions, or is this just something that impacts banks? I would like to clarify that this is going to affect banks, credit unions, broker-dealers, in essence, all financial services industry. Credit unions are not going to be an exception to the rule. This week, international organizations such as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and Bank for International Settlements are strongly encouraging central banks to cooperate on their work, which would help cut the time and cost of making cross-border payments. This week, India and the United Arab Emirates made a decision to work together to form a very strong union to develop digital currencies. When two countries agree to this type of a project, to this type of a partnership, it means that the digital currencies that they develop will be interoperable. At this stage, India and the UAE are far into the digital currency development. The two countries formed a strong partnership, and together they are launching pilot programs in 4 cities with 4 banks. India has been a leader in this process. As you may recall, India has been testing a retail CBDC in 15 cities, reaching more than 50,000 customers and 10,000 merchants. Its plan is to launch a digital currency by the end of this year, 2023. The country is actively preparing for a digital e-rupee rollout. SWIFT is a global cross-border payment processor. It is serving hundreds and hundreds of financial institutions across the world. SWIFT is actively testing the new digital platform as well. It's obvious that they do need to play a key role in this process in order to stay relevant as the entire world is moving to a fully digital environment. A couple of weeks ago, I shared that SWIFT is partnering with international banks to develop a cross-border platform to settle transactions using digital currencies issued by central banks. SWIFT says that it has now tested the solution in a sandbox environment with 18 central and commercial banks, including such large banks as the Banque de France, the Deutsche Bundesbank, and the Monetary Authority of Singapore. An additional 4 central banks were observers without direct participation. It is not reported what 4 central banks those were. Well, now it's been reported that SWIFT is building a network that would allow it to connect the digital currencies of different countries. It is interesting because even earlier this year, a couple of months ago, a CBDC was described in a way that made it appear as a standalone currency pegged to its fiat version. We were told that in reality, there won't be a difference between holding a digital dollar or a fiat dollar. What we're starting to see now is that it appears that CBDCs across the world will be part of a cross-border global network. The statement is also supported by the launch of a universal payment network in Davos. This launch followed the WEF latest meeting and was discussed in one of my videos in detail. If you're interested to learn more, I will link that video below for you. Now, moving on, SWIFT's ongoing CBDC project involves such global banking giants as France's BNP, Italy's Intesa Sanpaolo, and the UK's Standard Chartered, as well as central banks in France and Singapore. The project is reportedly moving to its second phase that involves testing to assess applications like trade finance and securities settlement. Before we focus on the most recent events in the United States, a quick reminder to check out our sponsor, ExpressVPN. It is my recommended virtual private network for secure online browsing. Now that all of our personal information is online, it is so important to know how to protect it. Claim your 3 full months of free, absolutely free service when you sign up using the link shared in the description below. In the United States, the most important news on the digital currency is the announcement made by the Federal Reserve. A couple of days ago, the Fed let us know that it's just months away from launching the new government-operated digital payment platform, FedNow. Its rollout is planned for July of 2023, and we're just hearing about it. The system is a major obstacle to any crypto-based systems and is the main argument for accepting crypto as a form of legal tender. As you may remember, just about 2 weeks ago, the IMF made a decision that it would not consider crypto as legal form of tender. And of course, this decision essentially paves the way for alternatives such as the digital currencies to become the new norm eventually. FedNow is a digital payment service that would allow all transactions to settle within 60 seconds and over the weekend. Up until now, the Fed's transaction settlement system did not work on Saturdays and Sundays, by the way. So the new digital system will allow bill payments, money transfers, and other consumer activities. This is not just for bank use. What's important to know here is that in various countries across the world, the instant payment platform owned by central banks was introduced before they rolled out CBDC pilots. FedNow is such a major change to the banking system that Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin, in his announcement, said that this is a leading-edge payment system that is resilient, adaptive, and accessible. The main point used by the Fed is that this new system is designed for you. It is being implemented to help an average person get quicker access to their funds. The Fed says making funds immediately available will help those who live paycheck to paycheck or small businesses with cash flow issues by avoiding late payment fees and freeing up working capital to finance their growth and operations. The Fed's analysts say that FedNow could also cut demand for payday loans as consumers won't have to wait for a check to clear. Are you on board with this? Let me know. Comment below and let us know if you agree with this and if you feel that it would help you or your small business. I would love to get your thoughts on this. FedNow is essentially a step towards CBDC implementation. It is absolutely clear. It is widely seen as a precursor to CBDCs. Banks and other financial institutions are strongly encouraged by the Federal Reserve to sign up for the service now. For example, last week, Boston Federal Reserve VP Ken Montgomery said, "With the launch drawing near, we urge financial institutions and their industry partners to move full steam ahead with preparations to join the FedNow service." So I will end the video here. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, if you learned something new, you might also enjoy another one I uploaded recently with the key facts to know about CBDCs. You will find it linked below. If you enjoyed this video, show your support, give it a like, subscribe to my channels here and on Rumble. I would love to have you back for my next one. And if you know someone who might find this information helpful, please share the video with them. I'll see you in my next one tomorrow. Take care.